I'm not here to murder. Bend the knee and join me. Or refuse and die.
You need to find a way to make her listen.
Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat.
Bran saw the Night King and his army marching towards Eastwatch.
Bad things are coming. Hey up. Where are you going?
Tell Sansa her sister's home.
Inspiration for the Sables. Theseus returning after his long wanderings. No one recognizes him.
I've seen her looking at the discharge of some emotion in you that this girl has what she's been through and experienced many of the insane and awful things she's experienced and come out the other side stronger for it is finally coming home. But the second she comes home, she realizes that it's not the same place.
There's a lot of homecomings in this season. I think the crucial thing here is the reunion with Sansa. In some ways, they're very similar to who they were, except more so, Sansa always wanted to be a lady, and Arya always kind of wanted to be a fighter. In other ways, they're so different than they were when they last saw each other. Both of them have had difficult journeys, difficult in their own ways. I think they come to respect the other in terms of how they've grown as people, but at the same time, that doesn't diminish the tension between them.
John left you in charge.
By the end of that scene, we finally get to a place where there's that connection that's more genuine. The idea with the scene was going to tell the beginnings of the storyline where Sansa realizes what Arya is.
Sansa doesn't really know much about where Arya's gone and what she's done since they last saw each other. This scene, more than anything else, tells her what she's been up to. The fact is, Brienne is a pretty legendary swordswoman, and looks like Arya maybe beat her. I mean, Sansa's watching it, and she's not quite sure it's Brienne holding back. Arya's really good at killing people. That's a bit worrisome.
Who taught you how to do that?
The idea that this is like one of those French caves where prehistoric man lived and painted on the walls, except in our case it wasn't prehistoric man but children of the forest. It's supposed to be something that's very evocative of the thousands of years that have passed since these caves were first explored and the paintings were first made, and also obviously something that's quite relevant to the current storyline because it's about how these two disparate peoples united to fight the common enemy. There are a number of symbols on the walls. Some of them are supposed to remind us of patterns we've seen before, going back to the very first geometric pattern on the show, which was the weird array of body parts that the White Walkers made. One of the things we learned from these cave paintings is that the White Walkers didn't come up with those images, they derived them from their creators, the Children of the Forest. These are patterns that have mystical significance for the Children of the Forest. We're not sure exactly what they signify, but spiral patterns are important in a lot of different cultures in our world, and it makes sense that they would be in this world as well.
The enemy is real. It's always been real.
There's tension on two sides. One is the political, where Jon Snow has his own very specific purpose here on Dragonstone, and that's to get the dragon. It's impossible to convince Dany to fight with him. Dany has her own very specific purpose, which is to get Jon to leave. There's conflict, and it's conflict between powerful people, and then to make it all even more complicated, they're starting to be attracted to each other. So much of it is not dialogue or anything we wrote, it's just the two of them in a small space, standing near each other, and us just watching that and feeling the heat of that.
What is it?
We jumped off the rock.
That's very good to hear. Isn't it?
She had a nicely triumphant return to Dragonstone, which nobody contested or got in the way of. From that point on, she's lost two of her principal allies. She's lost a lot of her fleet. She's in a position where if she doesn't step up soon and come up with a big win for her side, she's going to lose this fight before it even begins. I think she really feels the pressure of her situation more than she ever has before. It's a fight she's been waiting for her whole life.
I think there are several stories interplaying here. Part of it is that Dany's finally cutting loose. The whole first part of the season, she's been frustrated in following Tyrion's counsel. She's been fighting with one hand behind her back, and so she hasn't really unleashed the Dothraki horde. She hasn't really sent the dragons into combat yet.
The Train battle, one of the things that's most exciting about it for us, this is the first time we've ever had extent that dragons are believable.
Qyburn realized that the dragons were vulnerable. They might be fearsome beasts, but they are mortal and they can be hurt, they can be killed. We see the scorpion come into play with man by and we see her unwounded. Things started out okay for them, but I think it also changes the calculation a little bit because now they know these weapons are on the board. This ongoing war with Cersei is entering into dangerous territory.
Jaime's charge at Daenerys is a hard thing to top for me in that sequence, only because when you have a principal